Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So we've got a rare occasion today. We've managed to get all those three crawlers out together. So we've got the trx4 G500, the absima Sherpa, and the trx6 Mercedes. And it's just a nice bit of a catch up on where we're at with these vehicles, reliability, what we've done, and a bit of a follow up from one of my more popular videos, the comparison between the Sherpa and the G500. And I still say, issues aside, the Sherpa is the more capable of the two, straight out of box. That said, would I sort of recommend the Sherpa? And there's a bit of a question mark hanging over that, really. So, as stock, the front drive shafts on the Sherpa, even with the steering restricted to below 50% of its actual travel, left and right, giving it a massive turning radius, they still constantly fail. And it was just an inherent design flaw. Absima have sent out replacement drive shafts that have been exactly the same, and we've got them in it, and it's also failed again. And I've just seen on the internet that they've completely redesigned them, but as yet we're still waiting on a warranty claim for this one. So would I advise anybody to buy one? Certainly not without the new drive shafts fitted. But let's carry on with comparison. So we thought we'd start off with something nice and easy, just a bit of a grass bank. And the Sherpa went straight up it, trx4, not a problem. And the trx6, it's right at home on this, no issues whatsoever. It just drives straight up it.
6x6 should kill it up
One of the other issues we had with the Sherpa, bearing in mind that vehicle's clocked over 100-mile trail walking, but it does seem to have an issue where the plastic gears that are in it and the plastic gear selector melts against the plastic gears. So we've also had to upgrade it to a full metal gearbox and full metal gear selector as well. But other than that, it is a cracking little car. Now, by the time, if Absima don't send you out the free upgraded drive shafts and then you've got to buy the metal gears and you've got to buy the metal gear selector, you're then getting towards the price of a trx4. So that's definitely something to think about. At the minute as well, the trx4 of mine, I'm running a really heavy metal roof rack. Same one as on trx6. The trx6 definitely carries it better. We're also trying out today, we've got the Hyrax Predators on the Absima Sherpa. And on the trx4, we've got the AliExpress copies with the Endura dual stage foams. And as you see, them roof racks are lethal. They look nice, they protect the top of body, but they definitely make them top heavy. Modification wise on them, so the trx4 is running upgraded steering servo, the FlySky Noble MB4 8-channel radio. We've got the metal servo saver, stock micro servos with the endpoints set, so we've got no issues with them. We're running the cheap AliExpress alloy wheels, the metal roof rack. It's got the full Traxxas lighting kit and the SYRC light switch, and we've also got a set of metal light guards on it. As for the trx6, on that one, it's all stock wheels, stock tyres. We've got the metal roof rack with the light bar on it. We've got the metal servo arm, an upgraded steering servo, and again the Hobbywing Axe 3300 system in all three. The Sherpa is running the R2 version of it, and the trx6 and 4 is the original version. Not had any problems with those whatsoever. The trx6 is also running the same FlySky Noble MB4 and the FGR8B 8-channel receiver. As for the Sherpa, that's got the 3300 axe system, and we're running the Power HD 40 kilogram servo, I believe it is. And we've got a video up on channel about that one. The TRX4 G500, I believe, is running the 46 kilogram Savox waterproof one. Can't remember the model number offhand. I believe the Sherpa is also running a 2S battery. Not sure. I think we had the 3S battery in the TRX6, and the TRX4 is definitely 3S, 5000 milliamp hour. I'm running one of the Yahoo power, I think it is, in the TRX4. Now, as for the tyres, I'm not sure if it's the dual stage foams or the compound that's slightly tougher on the AliExpress copies of the Hyrax. And they're also slightly narrower than the Hyrax Predators. Now, as we go through this video, there's definitely a very, very slight advantage, which I would say from the setup we've got at the moment for the Hyrax Predators. Now, it's entirely up to you whether you would pay around 55 quid for the Hyrax Predators or £11 for the AliExpress versions. Just depends how much you use your car, what surfaces on, how quick they wear out. I would certainly say if you were running competition and a win or lose, you need every last percentage, then it's definitely a no-brainer. You buy the RX Predator compound tyre, as long as they match the surface you want. If it's more recreational, myself, I can get 5 sets to 1 set of those, so I think I'd probably go for the AliExpress ones. There's really not that much in it. One thing that I would say, the Hyrax Predators, you're definitely going to have to get some stronger foams in them if you're going to start running weight on your car. The AliExpress ones, I think just the feel of them, they definitely would carry weight better. But again, it all depends on the weight of your rig, what you're going over. And it's down to personal preference as well. I'd certainly say the way they do, out of everything we've tried, perform better than anything else. So if it's the last 1% you need, they're definitely worth going for. It is quite interesting to see how these vehicles get over all different stuff. And there's certainly points where the TRX6 struggles to get over something, and there's definitely points where the TRX6 will just glide straight over an obstacle and the four-wheel drive vehicles suffer. Certainly one thing I've found on the G500, I believe, in my opinion, you're better off taking the daft little plastic exhaust off, because the amount of things that they get hung up on, especially if you're going over routes, you definitely catch them. Now, I have got the metal skid plates on the TRX4, and sometimes they'll snag on things, and sometimes they will slip over things. So that's kind of a 50-50 thing. If you want to put them on for protection so they're not scratching your car, scratching the plastic underneath the car and your pumpkins, yeah, they're going to protect that. But bear in mind, there will be times when they get snagged on stuff. Unfortunately, not as much as the stupid exhaust do, but that's just one of the things. Certainly something to consider as well with these big heavy metal roof racks. They look nice, they're nice and tough, they protect the top of the car when you roll, but then at least 50% of the time they are the reason you roll. If you're running heavy weights on the bottom of your cars, which none of these are at the moment, then that's not going to be an issue, because the heavier low down weight, lower centre of gravity, and it's going to stop it rolling. But that were a point where it got snagged on the exhaust. Right, so over the routes, we definitely had some problems with getting over these before, with the smaller wheels on, and smaller tyres, should I say. And these cheap AliExpress wheels definitely cope with it a lot easier. The extra ground clearance does help, and they've definitely got a lot more grip over roots than what as previous tyres did. And to be honest, quite impressed with it. Also, the TRX is the only thing that managed to get up that. TRX6, sorry. Definitely the only one that managed to get up that. Both the Sherpa and the TRX4, we have done it previously with it, but it's awkward. The TRX6 just climbs straight up it. But certainly in positions like this with the older tyres, I'd got no chance. It just got stuck everywhere. Let's see what other comparisons we've got. Now, this really did surprise me. Especially it seems I'm not running any brass, so it's quite high centre of gravity. And it's quite a steep angle, this, which it usually falls over. And the other tyres seem to slip, especially when it was slightly damp like it is today. And these tyres definitely work well on the damp sort of mossy ground with bits of roots thrown in. Axe system certainly comes into its own though. With just the drag brake on it is amazing. You let go at controller and the vehicle just will not move. But I did think it were going to tip over there. And it's done quite well. And it's quite a nice area to sort of crawl, trail, walk, if you like, round here. I think we were out for about 4 hours. I had forgot, we did actually take one at SCX24s as well. They're very hit and miss outdoor. Certainly climb better over the moss. But they're not so good over soil. I don't think there's enough weight in them to really hold them down to get the grip. But yeah, it needed a little bit of help to get up there. Only a little bit.
I think they could do with some more weight on them.
But we have done all various kinds of mods to these. Added brass weights to them, metal suspension links. And to be totally honest, from a bog standard and to a fully modified, once they're outdoors, barely anything makes any difference to them. I just don't think the vehicles have got enough weight for it to make any difference. But I'm certainly going to get some more brass weight on the bottom at TRX4 because I don't want to take the roof rack and light bar off. I like the look of it, and it does seem to protect it when it rolls over. Right, so this is definitely a good example of why I need some brass on the TRX4. The Absima Sherpa with the Irax tyres, you could just see them there really folding under with the stock foams that they come with. The trx6 gets round it no problem at all, even with the heavy roof rack. The extra length of it just lets it get over that bit so easy. The Sherpa doesn't struggle with it, but the TRX4 with the G500 with this heavy roof rack on, it just can't get over this part at all. And I had numerous tries at it, and we're definitely going to need some brass on it to hold the side down. Because it just ends in a pile every time. Right, so the little Sherpa with the Irax Predator compounds gets up this pretty easy. The TRX4 G500, a little bit of a sticking point there with the AliExpress Irax copies, but still managed to crawl it properly. Didn't have to YOLO it and full throttle to get up it. And the TRX6, bearing in mind this is running completely stock tyres, stock wheels, no extra weight, and handles it pretty easy. There's a little bit of a sticking point there, but what we've found is the more that part's been crawled, the more it polishes it off, gets rid of a bit of grip. But it doesn't seem to have much issue. Definitely a very capable crawler for ground like this with straight out box. But it does make it to the top. Right, so this bit can be really awkward because it goes right steep towards the middle of it. But the Sherpa with the IRAX Predators, you can see how supple the tyres are and how much they will let the sidewalls collapse, because straight over it. But the trx4 with the AliExpress ones, as soon as I get to that bit, it just slides into the dip. Now, I have gone across that and completed it, but it's not every time.
Do you want to go first?
Right,
mate?
so we thought we'd do a bit more climbing again. So we sent Sherpa up first with its IRAX Predators, and you can see how much it'll let the sidewall collapse,
you know, when you look
and just conform to the surface that it's going up. And it really doesn't struggle at all.
Like that.
And then we've got the TRX4 with the AliExpress cheap tyres, and it does do quite well, and you can crawl it really slow, but you've definitely got to put a little bit more work in and work the steering to find the grip to get it up. And again, we've got trx6 stock tyres, but you can see it will let the sidewalls collapse on these AliExpress tyres. So I think it may be more of the dual compound foams we've got in there.
I think yours will grip better up.
Might be slightly stronger than the ones that come with Predators. But the TRX6, it does amazingly well to say they're running complete with stock tyres. Again, it just has to find that grip at the end. And we're doing as best to try and get the same line and not wheel spin to change the surface that each one's climbing up. And again here you can see how I'm just trying to have to work a way to find that last bit of grip just to get it to pull its way up. But it does do it. And then we got the TRX6. And it certainly helps. The extra length, the back tyres managed to push the front end of it far enough over that even with the stock tyres, it can still find that little bit of grip and follow the other two straight up. Right, hopefully you found this informative and interesting. If you like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. And I'll catch you guys again in the next one.